Hi, I'm Jesse. Welcome back to Jaffe Duck Productions. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the season finale of The Gifted. Now, the first one is episode 12, Extraction. Dr. Campbell attends an anti-mutant summit attempting to take the Hound program national. Some of the team members at Mutant HQ go on a dangerous mission to stop him. And episode 13, which is Crossroads, Polaris learns more about her past. Mutant HQ comes under attack. So let's get started. Of course, spoilers. I will be going through the episode a little bit point by point, some of my notes here, and then what I will be doing is I'll give it a review at the end, what I thought, and I'll definitely give it a number score. So, let's get started. First episode starts, episode 12 starts with Campbell's, a flashback to Campbell and his brother. His brother has cystic fibrosis and he's dying. Doctors don't give him past the age of 40, and he looks right around that age right now. And then it goes Dr. Campbell going into a lecture after that. He's giving a lecture that genetics don't have to be destiny. He gives the example of humans versus Neanderthals. Neanderthals, against common misconceptions, Neanderthals actually did have bigger brains. They were smarter, they were stronger, but they didn't come together. They didn't create weapons or tools. So, humankind wiped them out. And he goes from this into mutants, which to me doesn't make sense. He goes that Mother Nature has created a new mutation. People with extraordinary abilities. And mankind should rise up and destroy them. To me, this doesn't make sense. This is pitting us against people that we don't need to be pitted against. To me, it would make more sense for him to look for a cure in this mutation. To use mutations to excel human physiology, to make everybody equal and everybody more powerful. But instead he wants to use mutants. He wants to use them, he wants to control them. He wants to eradicate them. It just doesn't work. If he was that dedicated to genetics not being destiny, he wouldn't let this be destiny for them either. He would try to find not a cure, but a way to make humanity better through mutations. Because there is a way to do that in there. Look at all the mutants' powers. Look at Wolverine's healing ability. Look at the absorption ability from Rogue. Look at pretty much any of the X-Men. This could be helped by them. So he arrives at the Humanity Today conference. Wow, that's just wow. A bunch of people happy. It reminds me of those scenes with cults and churches where they all get together and let's fuck up somebody. Let's fuck up this race. Let's fuck up that. It's sickening. It's disgusting, and the reactions they have to it are on par. If not, actually a little muted them more than they should be. So it goes right over to the triplets, the 3-in-1, the Stepford Cuckoos. They were originally quintuplets, and they lost two sisters. So I really like the way they filmed these three. It's one actress, so that's great. But the way they film their interactions, the way they edit it together, it flowed really nicely. And of course it's them in the Mutant Underground trying to convince them to get help, because they can control minds, they can read minds, but they're not all powerful. They have potential, but they need the muscle. So of course Blink, John, Polaris, and Sunspot all go with them. Even after the reveal that Blink had worked with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the Brotherhood of Mutants at one point. Hi, sorry about that, camera died. So, I was talking about Blink working for the Brotherhood of Mutants. Well, she says she didn't actually work for them so much as she did a couple things with Brotherhood members. And she was now, when they went too far, she backed away. Which makes sense, and I get why John is angry that she didn't tell them, especially since this was set up by the X-Men. But I also get why she didn't do it. So, let's move on. It looks like Andy's idolizing the Von Strucker twins. I don't quite get why. I get the need to want to do something, and they should be doing something. They should be doing more of what the X-Men did, to be honest. The X-Men went out there and they saved people. They worked against other mutants to bring about a better society. It didn't quite work, but they also fought. They fought to protect everybody, to have everybody equal. Now that's the kind of fight you should be fighting. Violence begets more violence. But it's not so much violence as defending. If you are defending regular people from mutants that want to rise above humanity, that's a good thing. That's not what the Von Strucker twins were. Von Strucker twins were, let's ruin everything. Let's kill as many people as we can. We want to get rid of humanity. We want mutants to rise. It's not a good thing to idolize. They were terrorists. They did awful things. I guess in a way, trying to bring mutants together, they were doing some things right. But it's too fine a line for them to be walking. It's too fine a line for a teenager to go down. He won't make the right choices, and he's gonna he wants his power to be used to fight. He believes humans are coming for him. His mother's a human, and his father's essentially a human. Mutant with the X gene stripped of him. Then it moves on to the mother going through some stuff, and the mustache guy, I believe his name is Fade, makes stuff go invisible, like a van, for example. I thought he gained more respect for the Struckers, and he kind of fell back to old patterns. I find that kind of weird. It makes more sense near the end of the episode, which we will get to. So, working through the episode, after they hit the safe house set up by the Frost Sisters, we get a good scene where they are working their magic on Lorna. They want Lorna on their side. They want Lorna part of the Hellfire Club. So, I literally have this written down at least 3 or 4 times in my notes. Say his fucking name. My father was blah blah blah. My father was this. My father was this. He might not have been my father, or he might have been. I'm sorry, but for fuck's sake, say his name. His name is Magneto. He is Magneto. You are an X-Men show. Say his name. Bring it to light. Legion was bold enough to bring in Xavier. So why not say his name? Please say his name. Say his name next season. You're getting another season. You can do it. I gotta know, it's Campbell's passion about everything is honorable. Like, his passion, he truly believes in what he thinks. It's not the right thing, but that kind of passion is great. That kind of passion, quite frankly, isn't in a lot of the mutants in the underground. I think John and Sunspot might be the only 2 that are really passionate. They need, this is a mission handed down to us by the X-Men. We need to save mutants. This is to protect mutants. That is it. From there we go, the Struckers find out that they're sending Sentinel agents to find their, well, mother/grandmother, depending on what Struckers you're talking about. So they go up. The grandmother finding out about her son being stripped of his mutant powers, that her husband put his life in danger just to remove the X gene, was sad. It is heartbreaking, and she really does love her son. She loves her grandchildren, and she shows it. She literally says to them, "We, when they say we're just the same, Grandma, even if we have powers," she says, "No, you are much more now," and that is an appropriate response. That is, my grandkids have great powers, and I know that they will use them right. Anyways, Grandma, awesome. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at here. Well, before they fully rescue the grandma, they do run into a couple Sentinel Services agents. I think Andy was right. They should have taken him down. They took them down. He went too far after. His sister was right to stop him. But why did he attack his sister? Sister didn't attack him. She just stopped him from killing people. I don't understand why he attacked her. And I like that he's using his powers. Like, it was mostly deconstruction by the looks of it, just tearing things apart. But now he almost uses it like as in a wave attack, like a destructive wave. And I like it. It's a unique power, and it's still slightly uncontrollable, but it's not precise, but it's effective. Anyways, so I don't think he'll ever have like mutant powers like regular telekinesis, but if he's able to control it, maybe he can do something similar. Again, another note, Lorna, say his fucking name. So, they kidnap somebody, and they use his credentials to get into the Humanity Today conference. So this is the Frost Sisters, the guy they kidnapped, who... Alright, why would you even talk to somebody like that? I know you're a fucking bigot, but you've been kidnapped, you are tied down, shut your goddamn mouth. Don't spout your rhetoric. They should have killed him. I get why they stopped him. I get why they stopped from torturing him. But fuck that guy. Who the fuck does that? Oh, I'm sorry if I'm swearing a lot. Just who I am. So yeah, anyways. So they get to the conference. I really have to say Blink's portal effect is awesome still. I believe it, and it's a very unique way of doing it. I like it. So they're portaled in, they get up there, they get Campbell in his sights, his little pet mutant hound, disable Sunspot, and yeah, they get to, they try to get him, and just so happens kids come up in the elevator, points a gun at a kid, very subtly so the children don't see. I get it. Like, that is a very, very intelligent move. He thought very well on his feet. I have a lot of respect. This actor portrays him as really good. I did not look up his name. Anyways, this actor is really good, and I enjoy watching him portray this. Like, I believe everything he puts out there. It's not perfect, and it's not a good thing. Like, what he puts out there is not a good thing, but it's believable. You believe that passion. He's acting like he actually believes in it, and it's very well done. Like, you believe him, you respect his passion. He's a shithead and does not do good things, but you can respect him, and that acting is superb. One last note before the next episode actually started is the sisters leave Bennett, the kidnapped guy, alive. To me, that means they do plan on using the Mutant Underground again at some point, because these people wouldn't leave somebody like him alive. He's too much of a shithead. He's too bigoted. He's too up in his own head. Yeah, they should die. They should have killed him. And they didn't, so that they plan on using Mutant Underground again. Anyways, On to the next episode, episode 13. This one's called Crossroads. Now, I understand why they put them all together, but they started this episode again with a flashback. This time, Lorna. Lorna being in a mental institution for something she did. And because she does have bipolar, I believe, or manic episodes, so I understand why she's in it instead of jail. And so a lawyer comes in to talk to her. Before that happens, she's magnetically playing with a medallion. Say the fucking name! It's Magneto's symbol. She's his daughter. Polaris looks kind of more awesome though because of the green aesthetic. I just like it a little more. But yeah, so she comes in. So this lawyer comes in. Her name is Evangeline. Looked up the character, wasn't hard to find. Her name's Evangeline Whedon. She is the X-Men's lawyer. She's the one that recruited Polaris for the Underground. And her mutant ability is to transform into a dragon, which she did partially. She got the red scaly arm with the black claws. I had no idea what this was going for. It looked kind of similar to, I'm trying to remember his name, but Nightcrawler's father, the demon. And I thought they might be related somehow, but I was very confused as to why she was on the X-Men. So I looked her up. Evangeline Whedon isn't in too much, but is officially the X-Men's lawyer. She was a prosecutor before she was found out as a mutant, and she got fired, kicked out of her apartment, and just generally fucked over. But yeah, she can turn into a dragon when she comes in contact with blood, or consciously she can change as well. So yeah, that's really interesting and really cool power. Very one-sided, but a very cool power. Alright, so my next note is about Andy. I get why he's angry. I get that they need to make a move. But they don't need more terrorists. They don't need more mutants attacking humans. No, they need heroes. The X-Men were those heroes. They're gone now. They need heroes. Another note, say his name. Please, Polaris, please say his name. Alright. So, Magneto was part of the Hellfire Club? I don't know too much about the Hellfire Club's history, so it might be true, it might not. But he clearly left the Hellfire Club to create the Brotherhood of Mutants. They're not a... If Magneto left them, they're not a good thing. Now back to the Mutant Underground. They're being assaulted by Sentinel Services and 2 sets of hounds. How do they already not have a exit, a back exit, side exit, whatever, underground to an escape hatch that can't be found? Not like a regular exit. This seems like a good idea, but it did bring a great way of the Struckers stepping up. They're not mutants, but they're not mutants, but they are leaders. And without your mutant leaders there, they stepped up and they helped. They did a good job of it. He set up the defense with his children and water people. I can't remember what exactly their powers are, but he set up that defense and he did a good job. His wife helped Shatter and that big, super strong dude. She helped them come together and find a way out. So they're getting out. The Hounds take down the defenses. They're coming in. Everybody gets out safely. Everyone. That's very good. All under the leadership of humans. So, it's not all humans are bad. This is their family. Whether or not they want it, whether or not what they did in their past, this is what they are doing now. This is their family now. I think they've proven this. I really hope they don't retread over this next season again. So, they get out, and the two siblings take down that building, just like their grandparents did. Yeah. Oh, also, I don't think it was ever stated, but if you look it up, the Von Struckers weren't just twins. They were incest twins. And their grandfather came from the both of them. It wasn't that he was one or the other's child. He was both their children. So, incest is not the best. I don't care what Game of Thrones says. Another point about that defense with Mutant Underground, Andy really steps up and he gives a nice little speech like, we can do this, stick together, we've been trained for this. I think Andy has the potential to be a great hero. Him and his sister could be very heroic together. Andy just needs to get his anger in check, and he needs to almost believe in hope again. Like, at this point, he's like, fuck everybody, fuck this, fuck that. He's a teenage boy. He's a teenager, period. He's rebelling. He thinks he knows what's best, and nobody's going to change his mind about that. Unfortunately, I think something bad's going to happen, and that's what is going to change his mind, and he will be back next season. So, from there, they did use the third set of hounds. Never really said what their powers were. It wasn't the tracking hounds, so it wasn't the ones, the clairvoyant and particle trail guy, and which creepy but very cool effects. And it wasn't the anti-gravity velocity guy, which tore down the entrance. So when Andy took down that building with his sister, they killed those 4 hounds. It's awful, but those poor, they couldn't do anything. Those people were pretty much dead inside already. They were tortured, they were been created into addicts, they were broken, and they didn't deserve to die, but it helped them. And I'm glad that they were the only ones that did die, so that Andy and his sister didn't feel any ill effects from it, so they didn't feel the guilt of taking another person's life. So we move on. Lorna is at went with 2 of the Frost sisters to an airport where Dr. Campbell and the Senator are taking off. This is a very interesting thing that they do. She makes them go away so that the others know that she's doing this on her own of her own free will. She's not being mind controlled, brain controlled. She's not being mind controlled. She's doing this of her own volition. And arguments, blah blah blah. She tears the engines off the plane. You see one explosion which knocks them all down, another explosion farther in the distance. You don't hear a third explosion. That plane did not explode when it landed. Thus, there might be survivors. Not everyone might have died. Later on, while the main Sentinel service agent is being stripped of his title, he quits. He's the scapegoat for all this. He was told to attack the Mutant Underground. He attacked the Mutant Underground. They're scapegoating him. Officials say that they did not give this order when they did. So, he's being scapegoated, he quits. And when they were scapegoating him, during the interview they said this led to the death of a U.S. Senator. Not the death of the U.S. Senator and one of the major contractors to the United States government, Dr. Campbell, who ran Trask Industries, who provided the hounds for them. This wasn't it. So, I believe he may still be alive. I believe that the next step for that agent is he's going to go to Trask Industries. They're going to give him a job. He's going to run the hounds for them, and they might start doing something outside the law now. Anywho. Alright, so the final little scene of this is they all meet back at the new, not home base of the Mutant Underground, but a waypoint for the Mutant Underground. Everybody's there now. They're reunited with the team that was attacking Campbell. They hugged. Specifically Sunspot and the mother. They hugged. No, it's not Sunspot. Actually, yeah, Sunspot. Oh shoot, sorry. Anyway, Sunspot and the mother hugged, which was sweet. They have a certain respect. I think the Mutant Underground leaders are working with this family. They might be humans, they might not. They are humans, but they are part of their family now. And together they will figure something out. So, the Frost Sisters all come with Lorna in the lead, and they're doing a recruitment drive. So, the ones that leave are Fade, Surge, and Andy. Sorry, Fade, Sage, and Andy. So, Mustache Dude, Tech Girl, and Andy, as well as the muscle-headed, the big muscular dude. I believe there was one other, but no mention of name, and I didn't really see them. So, they all leave with them. They are joining the Hellfire Club, the Mutant Resistance, whatever they might call it. It's not a good thing. They're trying to rebuild the Hellfire Club. Their recruitment drive worked. They got some pretty powerful mutants. And Andy attacked his parents. It's going to not be great. Next season is going to be a lot more serious, even though this season was quite serious. So I look forward to seeing what they do with it. As for these 2 episodes, I will count them as one. I will give them 1 score. I would definitely say, sorry, I'm just coming up with this in my mind. Probably 2.5 to 3 medallions. Magneto medallions, of course. My main part is they couldn't name drop any X-Men. They can't name drop anybody at all. So they didn't name drop Magneto, which they should have. And that's brought it down. Like, this would have been a 3 or a 4 point. 3 or 4 out of 5 episode. But certain parts brought it down. Some things just didn't make sense. But I will be tuning in for next season. I am definitely hyped for it. So yeah, that was my review of the season finale of The Gifted. So, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, my name is Jesse. This is Jaffe Deck Productions. Have a good day. Fuck you!
I didn't mean to. It's fine. I won't catch it.